DJ Timash, bold and unashamed of the gospel. DJ Timash, DJ Timash.
Happy holidays! I am so excited. Thank you guys for tuning into my YouTube channel. My name is Eve Mushoki and I am so glad that you've chosen to watch my channel. I really don't take it for granted. I pray that God blesses you exceedingly abundantly, more than you can ever think, ask, or even imagine. And as you can see on the title today, it's 20 lessons in for 2020, my 20 lessons for 2020. And I'm excited to be doing this video because if you've been following me for such a long time, not just on YouTube but also on my website, that is evemoshoki.com, I always do lessons for that particular year. And this being that year that everyone has a story to tell, why not continue the tradition, but now in video form. So I'm really excited to be doing this, and let's get to it. And the way I have categorized some of these lessons is the way I set goals. My accountability partner and I have different what they called have different ways in which we set goals. And we set goals the way we categorize our goals is we categorize in terms from spirituality, finances, personal development, physical, that's also something to physical stroke health, and career, social, and I feel like there's one I'm missing. And emotional stroke and relationships. And that's how I will be doing my 20 lessons from those categories. And what I'd say about spirituality is this year I feel like my relationship with God has grown, and it has grown in the right direction. Okay, wait, can your relationship with God grow in the wrong direction? Okay, so I digress. Anyway, so I feel like my relationship with God has really grown this year. And lesson number one for spirituality is faith. God does not move practical. The Bible tells us that faith without actions is dead. So if you have faith in a certain area, you also need to be willing to move. And for me, a testimony about faith is where I stand at this particular time. And like I told you guys before, I moved out of my parents' home, and being in my home house, living here alone with my son, I feel like this is a testimony of faith. It was me just stepping out in faith and telling God, God, I know you're going to provide, and I cannot tell you guys how God has come through for me, has come through for my family. Yeah, so God has not moved because that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is that God talks to us. God talks to every single person, and we are often told that God talks to us through three ways. He talks to us through His word, He talks to us through people, and He talks to us through dreams. And I've found for me, yes, all those things have applied in my life, but mostly that has been through dreams. And my best friends can attest to this. Like, at times I dream about things and they come to pass, and I'm like, yo, like, what just happened? And yeah, so you need to, as in, I believe that God talks to every single one of us, and most times maybe we don't perceive it. Maybe we think it's our inner self talking, but maybe that's the Holy Spirit talking. So yeah, that's a lesson I've learned this year. And number three, on spirituality, I have learned about grace. I have not learned this 100%. It's also something that I'm still in awe. Like, I can't even lie about it. I'm still in awe of God's grace. I'm still in awe of, even after I keep messing up, like, His love keeps chasing me down. And I wish we were like that as human beings. Like, for me, for example, if someone messes me up, if someone crosses my line, and yeah, I'll hold a grudge. That I'm not lying about. But yeah, so learning about God's grace and learning that, and yeah, God's grace is just something I'm still in awe of until this time. So yeah, those are three things I have in my spirituality. So now spirituality. So let's move over to finances. So finances, lesson number 4 is you need to have an emergency fund. And if that's not a lesson that you've learned this year, I don't know what you've learned. As in, I really don't know. Considering what people have gone through, people being put on what are they called, on pay cuts, some people losing their jobs, and if you don't have an emergency fund, and yeah, some of these things come, as in you people have gotten sick. People have been in places and in situations where they needed money but they didn't have, maybe because they didn't have emergency funds, or maybe they had emergency funds and they ran out. And that for me has been a very huge lesson, that I am not 100% where I want to be in terms of my finances, but I feel like learning this, and this year being the way it has been, it makes me feel and it makes me want to up my financial game, like way up. Like I've been downplaying my finances. I've been saying, oh, I'm good, but no, I need to save. And there's the book tells us, oh yeah, that's another lesson. So yeah, so you need to have an emergency. I need to have an emergency fund. I'm not lying about it, by the way. I really need to have an emergency fund. Lesson number 5 is have multiple sources of income. Going back to the point of having an emergency fund, is if you have multiple sources of income. No, going back to the point of emergency fund, like if something, one source of income failed, if you have multiple sources of income, and at least you know you can count on these other sources of income. So that has been a very huge lesson for me. I thank God that this year I was able to diversify my sources of income. I really don't take it for granted, and I am learning on how to not just have sources different, not only have multiple sources of income, but also invest. I think that's lesson number 6. Lesson number 6: invest. And the people who are not business oriented, and that's fine. As in, it's really fine. Don't knock yourself. And this year I learned that even if, yes, you have multiple sources of income, but are you investing, or are you just squandering all this money that you get from all investing money? If you're not a business person, and that's fine, like, no one judge you because you don't have 10 or even one single business that you've actually started. You can be very good in money funds. You can be very good at taking risk in the sense that you want to buy shares, and you can invest with the government in terms of T-bills and bonds. I know these things, but I'm learning how to invest, like buy land, something that's going to appreciate in a couple of years, and not just buy something because other people are buying it. And yeah, that's a lesson that I've learned. Invest. And lesson number 7, also about finances, I have learned to budget. Hey, I think since I've moved out, I know that I just can't be doing impulse buying. And when I do impulse buying, I know I'm taking money from one certain area that could maybe be crucial, and put it in maybe something that's not even going to last. So that's a lesson, and a very big lesson that I have learned, that I need to budget my finances, that I need to know where. People hate the word budget, but it's really not about just telling you money where you're going here. This amount of money I am taking, this amount of money I am investing, this amount of money I am paying my dad, this amount of money I am paying rent, I am paying my domestic manager, I am taking my child to school. And even as I stand here, I am not, my finances are not perfect. Like, I told my best friend one day that we are going to sit down and write a book on finances, because what we have done with our finances, if we write a book, and you just laugh at us. And also lesson number 8, and finally the last lesson on finances is number 8. Live within your means. Don't do something because someone else is doing. Don't live in a house of 30,000 or even 50,000 because your friends live in a house. Don't take a mortgage because someone else has taken a mortgage. What if you can't afford it? Stay in your own lane and move at your own timing. Because if you do things because other people are doing it, who's going to be paying all that debt? That's you. I've made so many mistakes I keep saying this. I've made so many mistakes when it comes to money. I have not learned 100%, but I thank God that this year has put everything to perspective, and I want to be a better steward of my finances. Yes. So that's all about finances. So let's go. That was lesson number 8. So now let's go to physical. I'm excited about physical because this year, for me, it got to a place where I had lost so much weight, and I just wanted to lose it. Okay, but I guess the point when you lose so much weight, you lose weight in areas that you don't want to lose. So yeah, I digress. So when we talk about physical, lesson number 9: take care of your health. I cannot emphasize that enough. And if 2020 has not taught you anything, it should have taught you something about your health. Like, take care of your health. How many times are we walking around on your health? But how many times, as in these days, we're walking, it's now become a new normal. We're walking around in masks. We're sanitizing every single day because we don't want to get corona. We have social distancing and things like that, so that we can take care of the people around us. And if you are able to exercise, do it. If you are able to exercise, to eat healthy, as in, don't say some of these things are not African. Like, I really don't think so. I think it's you taking care of your health, and it's just even 10 minutes a day. So if you're able to do that, I feel like it's a very good feeling after you've worked out. The best feeling is when you shower after you've worked out. If you work out, you know what I mean. So yeah, I haven't been working out in such a long time. But anyway, I thank God for where I am. I thank God for health. Like, I really don't take it for granted. And number 10, major lesson for 2020. Also in regards to health and physical, life is precious. Like, don't take it for granted. Like, even I standing here and you watching me from where you're watching me from, like, all this is God. I really don't take it for granted. I thank God that He's kept us safe. Thank God that we are alive at this particular time. And as in, we don't take it for granted. So life is precious. I should have started with that. That's a major lesson for me in 2020. And that's it. Number 10, but in no particular order. So that's a major lesson for me in 2020. Like, life is really, really precious. Oh, I have a notebook, so that's why I'm looking. This is my journal, so this is where I put all my thoughts down. So yeah, so if you see me looking down, yeah, this is exactly what I am looking at. So yeah, I'm done with health. So those are 10 lessons. So number 11, and I'm going to be talking about personal development. What is personal development? No, this is not a lecture, but personal development is where are you improving yourself? Like, are you the best version of yourself? Yes. So lesson number 11 is personal development. Is I have learned that you need to invest in yourself. Dylan, investing in yourself is, are you reading books? Are you becoming the better version of yourself? Are you really just becoming the better version of yourself? And you need to invest in yourself. Like, you really, really need to invest in yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough. And because yeah, let me just leave it at that. You need to invest in yourself. That's lesson number 11. Lesson number 12. always work hard to be better than you were yesterday, and always be your own competition. I feel like that is the same as lesson number 11, but always work hard to be the best version of yourself. It's, are you investing? Are you becoming the best version of yourself? You are your own competition. Like when you wake up and stare at yourself in the mirror, or you look yourself in the mirror, or yeah, are you better than you were yesterday? So you need to do that for yourself, and you need to be the best version of yourself every single day. Don't stop being the best version of yourself. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. Don't stop working on yourself. Like, really don't stop. And lesson number 13 is know who you are. Yeah. So if you keep investing in yourself and you keep being the best version of yourself, you need to know who you are, what you can stand for, what you cannot tolerate in your life. Like, you need to know who you are and never stop being the best. As in, I cannot emphasize on that enough. Like, never stop being the best version of yourself. Like, really don't. So yeah, we're done with personal development. Let's go to emotional. Okay, before we go to emotional and relationships, yes, let's talk about career, and that's lesson number 14. Lesson number 14 is lesson number 14 is about career. Is keep investing in yourself, keep learning. I feel like for such a long time where I worked, I knew what I was doing until someone came along and told me, "Hey, what have you been doing for all these years?" And I realized that also it was part of my responsibility to want to learn and to want to be better and to want to scale up the career ladder. And I knew that I had to work on myself, and I had to work. I needed to learn. Like, I can't be stagnant for the rest of my life. And that for me has been a very big lesson in terms of career. Do you think about changing? If you're not satisfied with where you're working, like, leave. I know it's very hard, and it will sound very selfish of me to say that at this particular time, considering everything that's going on in life. But don't just stay in a place. I'll talk about this when it comes to the emotional part, but don't stay in a place that drains you emotionally just because you're paying bills. And I still go back to the point of faith, and that God does not move parked cars. I know this is going to be very controversial, but it's something if you're working in a toxic environment, or if you're working in a place where you don't feel like working there, then what are you doing there? Yes, I know you tell me if I need to pay bills. I understand, we all need to pay bills. But isn't this why your faith starts to work? And you say, you know what, I'm going to jump, like, God, here I am jumping. But seek God first. So lesson number 15, the last lessons. Last lessons, we talk about emotional and relationships, and I'm so excited to be doing this. So I'm going to be very into it. If you see me talking too much and rambling about it, because this is a very big part of me. This is a very big lesson for me that has shaped my 2020. And yes, that has me. You're doing this. Yeah, it's lesson has shaped my 2020. So yes, for emotional is always lesson number 15, is it 15, 16? No, 15. Okay, 15, yeah, 15. Lesson number 15, emotional, is always be there for people, even if they don't reciprocate. I know it's easier said than done, but I think these past few months have reminded me that people are struggling with things. Like, if I put myself in that situation, or if someone else put themselves in what I was going through a few months ago, I think I would, maybe the way I treated someone, I would have wanted them to treat me the same. But my best friend reminded me that life is not supposed to be like that. Like, if you have an opportunity of being there for someone, be there for them. Don't do it because you expect something in return, or don't do it because you're hoping that you will cash in on that favor that you did. Do it from a very pure and humble heart, because you don't know what people are going through. at the end of the day. People are fighting demons that they cannot even talk to their best friends about. And I understood this from when I was going through the mental thing in November, like I said in my previous video. And this made me realize, I want people to be there for me, but am I really there for other people? And I don't know. People are just fighting their demons out here. People are just fighting so many things out here, and they just need someone to be there for them. Someone to just be there for them emotionally, physically, and at times even financially. Like just do your part and leave the rest to God. So just do it from a very open heart. That's basically what it is. So lesson number 16 on emotions and our relationship is, this is going to be very controversial, but your circle really matters. And this year for me, I already knew who was in my circle, so it's not like something I came to find out in 2020, but maybe it magnified in the length that I didn't know it. I had not thought of it. So you say, this person is in a circle, but when things are turned around, you're like, if I was in that situation, I would have done the same thing for them. And if that is the same thing this other person thought. And I feel like who you have in your circle, I think you need to be on the same. You need to know, like I need to know, you are in my circle, you married or die. It's not the fact that I am assuming. It's all. And there's a video I had posted a few, like a month ago, where I talked about who's in your circle. And basically in this video, I was asking people, there's a quote I read and it said that stop expecting, you may have 3 categories of friends. You have best friend, like you have you forever people, your best friends, you have acquaintances, and you have colleagues. So the reason you get upset is because you expect your number 3s to act like number 1s. That should not be the case. Your number 3 is a colleague. You should not expect you should not be calling them in the middle of the night and asking them, you need to come through for me. No. So if you know who's in your circle and they know you are in their circle, does that make any sense? Then I think it makes everything easier for you. You don't start saying, this is a fake person. No, initially this person is just a colleague. Or if this person is just an acquaintance, they won't go for war. They won't go to war for you. But you, because you've put them in a place where you think, this are the effects, you want to go to war for them. I think you just need to know. And I feel like for me that narrowed down and it became very, like, it stuck in my head, like, these are the people who are in my circle. So your circle really matters. There need to be people who push you. There need to be people who tell you, there need to be people who cheer you on. Oh my God, why didn't I know you would say that? There need to be people who cheer you on. Have you ever had people you say that are your friends and then you tell them something really good that happened in your life and then they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy. Turn and I'm behind your back and start saying all this stuff about you. So I thank God that genuinely this year, there's so many things that happened. There's so many good things, as in the good things that happened in my life, and I'm thankful to God for that. And I'm thankful that I got to share them with people who are like, even cheering you on. That was the plan, and it's still the plan. And I thank God for that. I really, really thank God for that lesson. I really don't take it for granted. So lesson number 17. Lesson number 17. Don't be afraid to have fun. Don't be afraid to have fun. Why do I keep emphasizing that point? Because so many people are sitting and thinking, what will this other person say? And I feel for me like this was a year where I never took the things I took seriously, but there also are things I didn't take seriously. Like check my TikTok. There are some things I don't take even myself seriously. I do them and I'm like, like, is this really you? I came to a point where I even laughed at my own jokes. I remember that time I was telling my desk in the office, was like, I said a joke and then I started laughing, and he had not heard it. So he's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, what? This is the kind of person I want to be. Like, I'm laughing at my own jokes. I think I'm the funniest person I know. So you don't take life too seriously. Like, if anything has touched you in 2020, live life. Don't be afraid of making fun of yourself. don't beat yourself down. Yeah, I'm going to say that, but yeah, as in have fun, like really have fun. Not the fun of showing social media that you're having fun, but genuinely having fun. So yeah, that's a very big lesson for me in 2020. And lesson number 18. Oh, this is going to get personal. Never settle. Yep, you had me right. Lesson number, is it 18? Yeah. Lesson number 18 is never settle. I feel like I need to catch my breath because I feel like I've been rambling the whole time. But anyway, this lesson is never settle in any area of your life, emotionally, physically. Yeah, don't settle. I feel like for me, this has been a very big lesson for me. And if you actually think that you're settling for less, you are. I remember telling my confidant at a few earlier this year, and I was like, why do I feel like I don't want to settle for less? And she was like, the fact that you feel like you are and you're saying you don't want to means that you're settling. So don't settle. Don't settle for someone you don't like. Don't settle for someone who's stingy. And you don't want someone who's stingy. Oh my god. Yeah, don't settle. Like really don't settle. So I cannot emphasize on that point enough. So don't settle. Lesson number, let's move on. Lesson number 19. Lesson number 19. Do it afraid. I feel like this should have been on the personal development. No, personal development. It should have been on personal development. But why I say do it afraid is so many times. Why I say this is because so many times we want to do things, but we want it at the right time. Okay. Let me tell you this, girl. Oh boy, there is no right time for anything. That's a hard lesson I've learned. And as I even you watching me in this, as I'm doing this video right now, is because I did it afraid. And if you can see my first video, which was an interview with Lorraine or Vakiposa Beauty. Thank you for being in my video, my first video. It was my first YouTube video and interview video. And I'm telling you, while I was doing that video, you can see how nervous I was. And I'm telling you guys, I did it afraid. And I feel like this has become it's not really easy per se, but I actually like what I'm doing these days. I'm like, I'm doing a YouTube video. Oh, I'm here asking people like, wait, I'm not doing a video linear. I'm like, chill man, I'm looking for content. Yeah, so that's something I'm struggling with, but yeah, but anyway, so yeah, do it afraid. You wanna jump? No, I'm not talking about jumping on the balcony. Like you wanna do that business deal, you wanna move, you wanna shift jobs, you want to lead that relationship. Do it afraid. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid that it's not going to work out. Because times it works out. I feel like even you people who have, even for my subscribers, like I thank you. Yeah, I mean, this was me doing it afraid, and I hope that this becomes like a testimony to someone else. Like, wow, if I learn that this, let me not be seen, let God's glory be seen through me. For 19, I'm at for 20. It's 19, right? Why do I feel like? Okay, so in lesson number 19. We're 19, right? Yes. Lesson number 19. Yes. So lesson number 19. It's 19, right? Yeah, let's stick to 19. So lesson number 19 on emotional stroke relationships is it's better being single than being in a relationship that has not worked. If your instincts tell you it's not working, don't be in a relationship just for the sake of being in a relationship. And single than being in a relationship that's not working. Don't be in a relationship just because other people are in a relationship and everyone needs to go busy. It does not work. Your instincts tell you it's not working. It's not working. That's God telling you, yeah, as in, I'm trying to save you from a heartbreak. And I remember going through last year saying I don't want to spend December being single. I wanted to be like, anyway, I'm engaged or something. That was my hope and prayer. I was like, I want to be engaged, like, and Christmas I'm spending with Bay's family, or I'm spending with Bay. But then, not sitting down and looking at it, I'm like, you know what, everything works together for good. And I thank God that I'm single and very happy. And that's not something I'm making up. We saying, yeah, I'm single and I'm happy, but you go to your bed and start crying alone. No. At this particular time, I'm like, you know what, God, wherever you lead me, lead me. And whoever you bring into my life, I know he's going to be a man that is after your own heart, a man that loves you, a man that's going to love my child like his child. And yeah, so lesson number 19, said 19, yeah, that lesson. Don't be afraid to be single just because everyone is in a relationship. It's better being single than being in a wrong relationship. Yeah, I feel like I'm dropping bars right now. So lesson number 20, and this is a very, very big one. For me, it's both emotional and health, mental. Yeah, take care of your mental health. Like I said in my previous video, I had a very rough November. My mental, as in, things were not making sense in my life. Like I said in my previous video, which I'm not going to recap right now, it's I get home and start crying for no reason. I'd be moody for no reason, and that thing really, really, really broke me. And yeah, so just take care of your mental health. Cut off every single person from your life that is toxic. Do not. Hey, I don't know how to even stress and emphasize on this. Do not compromise on your mental health. You feel like this person is draining you, cut them off. When people say, "Oh, we're too old to be saying, oh, cut people off." You're too old to be entertaining people who drain you mentally. Do not, and I repeat, do not let people who have toxic characteristics into your life. Because when you are alone, when these people are not alone, it's you and your mind. And if this person has broken you down emotionally, has broken you down physically, and even mentally, how are you going to come back from that? It's just you and your thoughts. And I know how mental health is a very big topic. I have been through depression before. I have had suicidal thoughts before. So I say this I say this with some very passionately. Do not be around people who are toxic to your mental health. Cut them off. Tell them if said I need to cut you off. Because then let's not get into 2021 with people and making excuses for people's behavior because they tear you down. Maybe you're in a group of people and then they say something they know will tear you down, and they say it in a funny way. But what if they're hiding the truth behind their sense of humor? This is something I'm really passionate about because it's something that I've really gone through, falling into depression, and I know that I need to take care of here. This here is everything. So yeah. Take care of your mental health. I will not emphasize enough on that. I cannot emphasize enough on that, but you need to. I know if you need to talk to someone, there's so many counselors that you can talk to. Like I can give you my counselor's number. You can talk to her. I know there's so many people who offer who are there to talk to, therapists who you can talk to. And yeah, let's not get into 2021 having had these toxic people, even if it's your family. And I know people say don't cut off your family. If your family is toxic, maybe you just need to distance you, not just cut them, as in you just need to distance yourself from them. Because if you have children, or if you intend to have children way later in life, who are they going to be looking up to? They're not going to be looking up to a mom that's damaged or a dad that's damaged. You need to be on your better mental health. You need to be on a you need to be there. So yeah, so that's lesson number 20 for 20 lessons in 2020. And I thank you guys for this is me doing it afraid. And if 2020 has taught me something, is to do it afraid. And you can also do it afraid. What are your goals for 2021? I think so maybe my next video may be next year, God willing. And we'll talk about setting goals. we'll definitely have people who will tell us. I want to interview people who will talk to us about setting goals, about vision boards. What does your vision board look like? Why you need a vision board? Why you need to set goals, and things like that. So yeah, I am excited about this. I'm excited. I'm thankful and grateful to God that 2020 has been how it has been, and the lessons that it has taught me. What are your lessons in 2020? Like, let me know. You know, guys, I love reading from you. I love reading your comments on the comment section. Please let me know what your lessons for 2020 have been. Yes. So I pray that God blesses you exceedingly abundantly, more than you can ever think, ask, or even imagine. And if we see each other in 2021, God willing, may God go before us. May He open doors that no man can shut. May He be in your life. He is the best thing you can ever do. That's a testimony of mine. Being in a relationship with God is the best decision I ever made. So yeah. So I hope this has inspired you, and if it has, it might inspire someone else. So kindly share, kindly subscribe, ask them to subscribe. Thank you guys so much. My hair, yeah, advertisers. My hair is by Naima Elegance. So guys, please follow us on social media. Yeah, please follow them on all our social media platforms. Yes, and definitely. And this is signing out, Boss. It should be Boss Babe. Signing out is Boss Babe. Have an amazing year. May God bless you. May He keep you. May He make His face to shine upon you. Dylan, you want to say bye to people? Come. So, as I say goodbye, also say goodbye to my baby boy. So many of you are always like, I want to see Dylan. I want to see Dylan. Drum rolls, please. Dylan! Tell people happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Tell them keep safe.
Keep safe, baby.
Tell them happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye people.
Bye bye, people.
We love you.
We love you.
May God bless you.
May God bless you.
May God keep you.
May God keep you.
May He make
May make
His face to shine
His face to shine
upon you.
upon you.
Amen.
Amen.
Yay! Bye bye. Happy New Year. See you in 2021.
Yes, and 2029. And come back.
Yes, come back.